Everyone, how's it going? So this video I'm going to go over covered calls against your long position. I'll mainly be talking about your writing calls against your stock or leaps. More deep in the money is what I recommend. Little background, I personally have some shares I've had for a while now, and then I have a handful of leaps too. I have some January 12 100 strikes. The reason I went this deep in the money, they're around 105 cost basis. Oh shoot, it's been a couple years now. Is I'm looking for stock replacement in these and a lot of delta as I want to go one for one with the stock. That's why I went with them. I'm not looking for this huge leverage or anything like that. I just bought deep as money could buy. I also have some January 13s. Same thing, just real deep in the money like that. The highest I have is January, and I actually need to roll these soon. I have some January 280s. The reason I picked the 280s, there's no magical, there's no magical strike here. When I picked them up probably 9 months ago or so, I was going off of Delta. So just let you know why I picked that one. It still seems to be, though, a pretty good, I still like that strike. I would be going out to January 13s now, though, because who knows with Apple. I'm a fundamental type investor, and I don't know. It's stock is pretty far depressed, but we won't go into that here. So how to go about this data? I'm sorry this is such a poor example because Apple's only 335 right now, and you don't normally see you don't normally see that big of a gap. This highest open interest is 370. What you have is Worldwide Developers Conference, so I'm sure that was part of it. So this isn't the best example when it comes to talking about premium in this, but we'll go with this data. Again, with news events is kind of tough. It's whatever you think. If you think there's going to be some big product launch, kind of don't really go with whatever you think, or use this data. Maybe give yourself another extra buffer to this 380. All in all, though, let's say Worldwide Developers Conference wasn't coming. We'll still use this data. So what I will do is come out here. If you look at that little scorecard section I have, you can see that only one time has it ever closed in those 47 weeks, closed more than one strikeout. So you're pretty good here. And my whole thing is I'm not planning to get my shares called away. I just want to make some monthly dividend. I'm not trying to hit the max target of every single time, just getting it perfect. I'm just, looking to make a dividend. Everybody should be doing this, whether it's your parents' IRA, your retirement funds. It's a riskless trade. I call it, there's no risk of losing any money on the covered call side. There's a risk of capping your gains or not making as much, but there's no risk of losing money. So everybody should be doing this. Anybody should be. So what I will do is, you can either do it depending on whatever you feel. You can either stagger selling. You can come out, come out to here, sell a handful here and here. So there's a 4-week window. Monday is going to be the start of this X cycle, and Apple's at 335. So picture a little, 4-week curve. You want to kind of hit the sweet spot. You want to sell Apple at its top. Like, say Apple's 335 now, goes to 360 at some point, and then comes back down and finishes 335. If you think you can time and sell that perfect peak, then go for it. That's what you need to do. You go ahead and wait those 2 weeks, sell it, and then, that's perfect scenario. If you really don't know, or there's a fine line that comes between waiting too long, because at 2 weeks left or so, theta just becomes too overpowering, time decay, for the stock price movement to overpower it. So there is that fine line. If you just really don't know, if you have no clue, in those first 3 days or first week at least, just blindly sell, use this data and blindly sell um, out out here. So this 380. Now, what I like to use is like a baseball type analogy when it comes to if you're doing something like that blindly, is the center fielder always takes a step back first because it's much easier to run forward than it is to run backwards. So what you can do here is say Apple's at 335 and you sell this 380 because you don't know and get $50, get whatever. Something's better than nothing because believe me, I've sat there and no, Apple's going to move. It's going to move. Next thing you know, 4 weeks went by and you didn't make anything. So sell out here and, take in your, again, this premium's going to be a little off, but we'll use it. So you sell this 380 for $25, $23. And that's what you get. And a good midpoint while I'm at it is usually about $1 is kind of a good premium to sell. Good risk reward. It's pretty far out there out of the money wise. It's still a good amount. It's $500 income if you got 500 shares. So $1 is a good starting point and adjust from there. Sell 25 bucks out here you get, and then Apple's 330. A week goes by, we'll roll it up. So sell these and take in another 25 cents or 50 cents, whatever it may be. Another week goes by, Apple's still at 335. Come and sell this one, take in another 25 cents. And then there's only a week left. We'll come in, all the way a few strikes out of the money and take in another 25 cents. So all month you ended up getting that $1.25, $1.50, whatever it may have been. But it's much easier to kind of make less money, but be in control the whole time, where you kind of have the ball, you're the casino type side, you hold the odds, than pick this and be wrong because it's also painful to see not making money, being capped. That's the way I do it. If you really feel, 350 is the top or like no impossible way to go higher than 370, then go for it. I'm just saying what I like to do, what I always see, because at any time, Apple is just it's so undervalued. It just I think it has a lot more in it, but obviously the market isn't speaking that way. So that's how I do it.